I am just so impressed, and it's a real credit to the people who worked in these buildings for years that they kept them maintained and up to date. And I'm sure that that has made it easier to do the kind of renovation that I've seen. But I am so impressed with what you've done. And in many ways, this reminds me of a small business incubator space, because smaller companies that are just starting out or that are just beginning to grow can come in here, have heat, electricity, internet access, everything that they need as they begin to grow their businesses. And in many ways, that's the kind of collaborative effort that we need in the state of Maine. We need partnerships that will allow our small businesses to grow. After all, what we've seen in the past decade in Maine is a real loss of jobs that were once provided in our state by very large corporations, whether it's textiles or shoes or even the paper industry. Many of those jobs, unfortunately, have moved elsewhere. If we can build our own base, our own economic base, looking at specialty manufacturing, which I saw in this building, looking at high-tech firms, which I saw, looking at experts providing advice on everything from electrical engineering to architectural services to physical fitness, then we can build a stronger economy for our state. It's also great seeing evidence of Maine's creative economy also in this building. So I just want to congratulate all of you for being the ones who have stepped forward and are creating the jobs that are the future to the state of Maine. And what I'd like to know from you today, and I ask this at my peril, I realize, is how can government be helpful to you? I know that when someone comes and says, I'm from the government and I'm here to help you, that it has about as much credibility as saying the check is in the mail. But I am interested in what you think we could do in partnership to advance the great work that is being done in redeveloping the.
This state has seen many corporations and many industries shut down and disappear and move elsewhere. And I know you just had an opportunity to visit our shop downstairs at Hyperlight Mountain Gear. We're fortunate that we're a small startup company, but we're growing. And we're in a position where we're looking for manufacturing workers and having a really hard time finding them. We've gone to the Department of Labor, we've run ads. We're having a really hard time, and I'm wondering what sort of resources exist to match those skilled laborers with young businesses that have that need.
I think that there are two answers to this problem, this shortage. You know, it's ironic because here we have a relatively high unemployment rate in our state, and yet there are jobs going begging because people don't have the skills that are needed. So here's what I think needs to be done. One, in Washington, I've asked GAO, the Government Accountability Office, to do a review of all the job training programs in the federal government. We have a plethora of programs, but I don't think that they work in concert with the business community, with employers, to make sure that we're training people for the jobs that are out there, for the jobs that are needed. And I can tell you one success story in this area. Several years ago, I helped the Kennebec Valley Community College to get federal funding to buy equipment to train radiological technicians. There was a huge shortage of rad techs. And the community college could not afford the basic equipment. Once they had the equipment, they knew the local hospitals would subsidize students to go and get that training. But it was getting over that initial hurdle. So in that case, I was able to secure the federal funding so they could, a one-time federal catalyst for them to buy the equipment. The program is enormously successful. Virtually every single radiological technician that they graduate is guaranteed a job. In fact, usually the hospitals pay for them to get the training. And it's been a great success. But the reason it's been a success is there was a match between the need and the education. And I don't think our federal job training programs do a good job at that. I think there needs to be a similar effort underway with the community colleges and the University of Maine system to match again the needs of employers with the curriculum that is being offered. And I've seen that done successfully at the University of Maine, where there is a cutting-edge composites program that has led to the spin-off of several companies, and engineers from the University of Maine trained in composites have gone on to found those companies or to work at them. And it's great because then we're keeping those young engineers in Maine. They're not having to leave our state to find work. But the reason it works is because of that close collaboration with the private sector. I think that needs to be done with each and every one of the community colleges. They should be meeting with the business community, identifying what the needs are. I know one need that I hear repeatedly is for trained machinists. And that comes up over and over again. And you know, you can make a very good salary, a very good wage as a machinist. So I would like to see our community colleges get more into training people for specific trades rather than just concentrating on giving them 2 years of a liberal arts education in the hopes that they'll transfer somewhere else to finish up. That may be the answer for some students, but there are some students who would be better served by becoming very skilled in a trade after 2 years and being able to get a really good job that's going to serve them well. So I apologize for the long answer, but that's what I think we need to do.